Nice way to start the new year, huh? Nice L. Calm your tatas. The season series is 1-1. You tell yourself whatever you want. I'm better. You really think you're that much better than me? In literally every measurable way. No way. Dude, you have the worst offense in the league. No, that's Nashville. Okay, fine, but your power play is last. Detroit, actually. No, wait. Islanders. Pretty sure they're going to set a record for that one. I think your penalty kill is down there, too. No worse than the Islanders. Their special teams is real bad. I can't believe we're even doing this right now, but also your goaltending, trash. No, Columbus's goaltending is trash. All right, fine. I got you. Most penalties in the league, right? As of yesterday, that's actually the Panthers. What am I even doing? You may not be last in the league in those categories, but I'm top 10 in most of them. That's awesome. I am still better. At what? I mean, every statistic, every modern analytic, every nugget of discernible truth points to me being the better team. How do you think you're better? How am I not? Are you trying to gaslight me right now? Is it working? No! Then no, of course not. Why is it every single time I play you, I walk away from that game feeling worse about myself than how I felt before the game? I'll tell you why. Because I'm better. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. It's not. We're ending the year on a big fat L. But I can't be upset about this game. I can't be negative about this. Like, we'll talk about some negative things, but there's a lot of positivity here in general. But the most positive thing I can say is we lost to a good hockey team. Our hockey team lost to a good hockey team. It was a good effort. The weaknesses that we know we have reared their ugly heads, and we lost. That's it. That's all we really got here, right? The Washington Capitals are third in the league in standings points percentage. So, like, they are on pace to have the third most points in the league. They're a very good team. It is our second game against them. We beat them 4-1 a week ago in what felt like a statement game from the Bruins, but also the season worst effort from the Capitals, who only managed 11 shots on net. You would expect the Capitals to want to play this game right and tight. This was going to be their bounce back game against us. I'm sure they didn't come into this happy that they had lost in the way they did a week ago. They are, I want to say, third in the league. Yes, in goals scored per game. They are fifth in goals allowed per game. 15th on the power play, which 15th on the power play, but third in the league in scoring. Shows how good 5-on-5 has been for them. And then they are 6th on the penalty kill. The biggest differences between the game a week ago to this one is they have Ovechkin back, who has been very good for them this year. And he's been, I don't know if you know this, but very good for his whole career. And then they also have Thompson in net. I believe we played Lindgren last time. Thompson is sitting on a .916 save percentage and a sub 2.4 goals allowed average per game. The dude's balling this year. He's been very, very good. Those are the big differences. I think you'll find, even though the Bruins offense is not good, as we creep up the standings, we've been in third basically the whole time, but as we look like a more serious hockey team, we're going to see more starting goaltenders. I don't have the math to back this up. I should do some research on it, but I feel like the Bruins have faced a ton of backup goaltenders throughout the season this year because our offense is so bad, which why wouldn't you plan to have your backup face us? That makes sense, right? So as we get into the more serious games, we're going to have a lot of division games this month alone, meaning January. We're going to see more starting goaltenders, I think. I maybe that's not true, but that's how I feel about it. For the Bruins in this game, the lineups are Marchand, Lindholm, Coyle, Geeky, Zaka, Pasta. We're not changing the top six. Kepke, Frederick, Brazeau, Beecher, Kostelik, McLaughlin, Zadorov, McAvoy, Wotherspoon, Carlo, Lori, Peak. Swimming gets a start. Beecher is back in, as you saw. Wallstrom and Osterley stay scratched. Fabian Lysell, however you want to say the dang name, he got sent back down to the AHL, to Providence. He got one game while his family was in town with the Boston Bruins and looked good. He looked good. I wouldn't say he was a game breaker or anything like that, but he looked good. the quote that Sacco had, our interim coach, about this and about the message that he gave to Lysell, he told him that he didn't hurt his chances for another opportunity at some point. What the fuck is that? What? I'm not going to do a whole stink here. I'm not. But the third line, since Coyle had been moved up, a change I like and do not want to undo, but since that change had been made, the third line was giving you nothing. They haven't allowed a bunch of goals, but they are an absolute nothing on the offensive side of the ice, if they can even get there, that is, because they spend a ton of their time getting badly outchanced in their own zone. Every game with Brazeau, Frederic, Wahlstrom as your third line was like that. You added Lysell to that line for 11 minutes of playtime last game and walked away with a goal, better forechecking, better neutral zone speed, and more take it to them style of a lineup. That third on your roster, the third line, that's what it should be. This should be a line that's kind of annoying to play against, right? Not that they're overtly skilled and they're going to blow past him. No, but that they're in on the forecheck early, that they're exhausting because they just keep coming at you. That's what you want from a third line and a fourth line, of course. What? Why is the message? Well, you didn't hurt your chances. You sent me back down. What do you mean I didn't hurt my chances? You sent me back down so you could have John Beecher, who's been mostly a nothing. You could keep Wahlstrom and you could keep, like, what do you mean? I get that there's asset management going on as well. If you wanted to slot somebody else in the lineup, you couldn't have 3 scratch guys like this. Or you weren't going to have 3 scratch guys like this because Lysell's going to get ice time down in Providence. But why not give him 4 or 5 games at least to just see if you have something that can help one of the worst offenses in the league? I mean, it's like the Bruins are taking a test and someone handed them a cheat sheet and they put it next to them, left the cheat sheet open, and then just continued to do their own test. And when they were all said and done and it was time to hand in the test, they looked at their test, looked at the cheat sheet and said, "No, I think my answers are actually right," and just chucked them. I don't get it. I said I wasn't going to do a whole shtick, but come on. It doesn't make any sense. Is Lysell going to absolutely change the trajectory of this team? No. Does it make the team a little more threatening offensively? Yes. This offense sucks. It's so bad. Can I get anything? You also have Poitras down there at a point per game pace who's getting hammered night by night by 28-year-old goons who are trying to get in a fight that gets seen by their NHL team so that they can get brought back up like Rempe or something. It's not safer for Poitras in the AHL, but boy, you want him there for some reason. I don't understand. This got negative real quick. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm kind of sick of them acting like it does. It does not make sense to not bring up the talented, skillful, potentially able to score at the NHL level players while you have, at minimum, 4 fourth-line guys currently playing your bottom 6. 3 fourth-line guys? You live with that. 4? Well, that's not great. That's not great. For those wondering, it's Koepke, McLaughlin, Beecher, and Kostelic. Those are the 4 that I'm referring to. I don't consider Frederic a fourth liner. Right now, I don't consider him anywhere on the team. But, and then, of course, Brazeau, who is anywhere in the middle 6, I'm super happy. He's been fantastic, and I love him. So, it's fine. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Thank you so much to the high-quality inspectors, the membership program. You can see the link below. You guys rock, and I really do appreciate your support for the channel. It is very helpful, and I love you. This is a positive game. Let's talk about it. Puck drops! 127 in. Not right. 121 in. We have already seen a point-blank chance for Coyle that he could not get to settle on his stick. We're a minute 21 in. We're going to get the puck deep once again. Wotherspoon's going to clear it. He's going to take it from our zone all the way up to the red line, clear it in, down the left wall. It takes a funky bounce off a stanchion into Thompson. And Thompson's not really ready. I think it hits him a little bit and bounces into the slot. Brazeau is there early on the forecheck, his job. He's going to collect that. He's just going to be the beneficiary of this, and he's going to flip it past Thompson. It's 1-0, 121 in. I saw a lot of people, I've talked about this being a good effort for the Bruins, and some people pointed out they scored 1 goal off a funky bounce. Our offense isn't very good. We know that. But the effort and the opportunities were there the whole game. There was not the whole game, but for the majority of the game, there was a lot of in-tight chances that just didn't go their way, which I know we have to get accustomed to because this team does not finish well. They're not a good scoring team. But that's also something we know. I can harp on it to the end of days, but it's still a very good effort from the Bruins, who are very good defensively, who got a good enough performance in net. It's a good effort. Yes, the puck didn't go away. The bounces didn't go away to bury a couple past Thompson, who's also very good, against a very good team. But I thought it was a good effort. Either way, it's 1-0 early on. Zadorov would leave right around now as well. It looks like his leg gets cut by a Tom Wilson skate. He would return later in the period. I have no idea if it was actually that, but it did look like that was the reason he went down the tunnel and missed the first period, most of the first period. 7:52 left of the period. Carlo with a bad blue line pass in the O-zone leads to a transition chance for the Caps, where Carlo does get back for it to help snuff it out, and he does, but he forces the battle into the left corner, and it is lost by him and is lost by Kostelic, each of which had the puck on their stick for a moment during this battle. They'll both lose out on the puck. The thing is, when Kostelic moves towards the left corner and the puck gets pushed down to Dubois, who's far enough from Carlo where he can't prevent this pass into the slot, no one had really covered for Kostelic in the slot. That's not fair to say. Beecher had, but he was standing 3 feet away from Protas, who just has a free chance to bury this glove side. There's nothing Swayman can do about this. It goes directly behind his net to directly in front of him, high glove in an instant. No goalie outside of a real lucky play is making that save. It is 1-1. I'm mad at Carlo for the bad blue line pass that led to this transition in the first place. I'm mad at Carlo for losing that battle on the wall. I'm mad at Kostelic for losing that battle on the wall. I'm mad at Beecher for not getting in front of Protas. I found that to be insane. That was going to be, by far, the best chance for the Capitals in this game. I thought defensively, outside of this play, we were tremendous. There were some moments, there were some clearances. There will always be those scary moments every now and again, but a really good effort structurally. 1-1. 3:04 left. Kostelic is going to go for high sticking after about 40 seconds of him being completely lost on the ice. Just completely lost. Kostelic's kind of driving me nuts right now because his on-ice impact has fallen off a cliff, and his penalties are racking up. Didn't really mind the penalties as much when he was fighting guys in an effective way. He was laying the body. That line was producing offensively, or at least creating offensive zone time where they got to switch out one by one and the top line could get in. Lot that I liked there. Most of that has disappeared, but the penalties have not. Don't super love that. We're going to the penalty kill. 15 seconds in, Washington wins the faceoff. They set up, and it's just, this is just Chychrun gets the puck above the right circle, skates into the very top of it, and just picks high glove corner. At first, I was very annoyed at Swayman. I was like, you saw that the whole way. You saw it the whole way. I don't care if it's top corner. You saw it the whole way. I don't think he saw it the whole way. After watching it a couple times, there was an angle of the camera where I'm like, I think he sees this. Wilson was right in front of him and moved. I don't think he picked it up until the shot was already in the air, which is an insane ask to make the save at that point. So it is 2-1, power play goal for them. No one moved Wilson out of the way, which, Wilson makes his bread and butter there. 12.1 seconds left of the period. McAvoy and McMichael go for slashing each other. We're going to go 4v4 to start the second. Nothing really happens from it. 7:36 in. Excellent shift by the top line, particularly Geeky, who's elite, by the way, who had a handful of close calls to make a scoring play, but none of them really came to fruition. After about a minute of pressure, Lindholm draws an interference call from Matt Roy. We're going to go on the power play. Nope. No power play. The special teams completely let us down in this one, which is becoming a theme. 4:48 left. Marchand takes an absolute dive. Dude, No. I know he does it. We've talked about it before. This was about as divey as a dive gets. And anyone who wants to say anything negative about Marchand on Twitter or any social media after watching that play, have at it. Like, what are we doing? I really do hate this shit. I hate that shit. Lindholm, you could probably say, was a pretty soft call, too, when he drew the interference. But this was 100% a dive. That's your captain. Stay on your damn skates. Like, the power play sucks anyway, first of all. But stay on your skates. Go after the puck. I hate this shit. And I don't want this league to turn into soccer, which is already enough of the diving going on. If I'm going to call other players out for it, Lundell, then I'm going to call our own players out for it. Just an awful, pathetic dive. We're going to the power play. The Bruins, karma, got outshot 3-0 on their own power play. I'm not advocating for anyone to get fired. This power play has been donkey balls for over a year now. How the hell? Honestly. We'll leave it at that. How the hell? We're going to the third period. 5:47 in. Ferravari takes a hard stick to the face. It's Tom Wilson's stick. He stays on the ice for a little while being tended to before being escorted to the bench. I think he's going to be all right. But that was a brutal smack by Wilson. No calls are made on the play, of course. 8:40 into the period. Zadorov for interference. Penalty kill. Bruins have 2 shots on net since about 9 minutes left of the second. We're 8:40 into the third, and we just took a penalty. When I said earlier that the effort was there the whole time, the chances were there the whole time, there was about a 17-minute span that was not good. But the Capitals were really turning it on, and their structure was really good. There's sometimes a difference between being like, wow, this team sucks, they can't connect a pass, and wow, the defense or the structure is crazy. They have no room to do anything. I felt like it was one of those games. I think this game is more of a compliment to the Caps than an insult on the Bruins. I think that's fair. And I think I'm ranting about a bunch of stuff, but I really feel good about where this team is at right this second. It sucks that we lost, but I don't know. I can't help but feel a little positive, a little positive. 14 seconds left of the penalty kill after a shot on net and whistle. Multiple scrums start. Most notably, Mangiapane jumps on Carlo. Not jumps, but he knocks him down. He's on top of him, and they're making out down there or something. And they're both going to go for roughing, which I thought was kind of weird because this felt much more like a Mangiapane roughing call than a Carlo one, but whatever. They were also going to lose Coyle and McMichael for this 2 minutes. So somehow there's 4 penalties all offsetting each other, and we stay on the penalty kill. Didn't really love that. 8 minutes left, a tremendous offensive shift by the Zacha line. A backdoor tap-in that Geeky fanned on was the best chance of it, but a lot of zone time, a lot of close calls. Almost all those close calls had to do with Geeky. They're pushing, and they would push the rest of the game. They really would. They fought, and they fought, and they fought. And there's 2 ways to look at this. This is going to be our first game note. It ends 3-1. Protas gets an empty netter around 9 seconds left. Let's go to the game notes. Because the first game note is Morgan Geeky, who I want to compliment, which is a dangerous game. Because when I compliment Morgan Geeky's game goes to hell. Every time I feel real positive about him. None of my opinion has changed about Morgan Geeky. He's a really good third-line center, winger, whatever you want to put him at there. He belongs on a second power play unit. Like, that's who he is. I still think he's playing 2 lines above his station. All of that can be said. And I can also admit, he looked great. Now, there's 2 trains of thought. You could sit there and go, hold on, yeah, he had a bunch of chances and finished none of them. Or you could go, yeah, he created a bunch of chances. Like, I'm going to go with he created a bunch of chances. He was hard on the forecheck. He was speedy around the net. Yeah, he flubbed a couple things, fanned on a couple things, but for the most part, he got the puck where it needed to go, and the chance was there. There's not much more I can ask for Geeky. If I have the opinion he's a third liner and he's not finishing like a first liner, I can't shit on him for that, right? I can't get upset at him about that. That's not fair at all. I think he played a damn good game and deserves a lot of credit for continuing to take the abuse that being on a first line and not being a first line player comes with. So I want to compliment Morgan Geeky. I think he worked his butt off this game and looked damn good doing it. Trent Frederick. I don't feel like this. Brazeau, also an excellent game. Let's give him a lot of credit. Not just the goal early on, hard on the forecheck, created a lot of chances in tight, took some abuse in front of that net trying to create. A lot of compliments to Brazeau. Okay, Trent Frederick. Okay. What positive play, offensively or neutral zone, has Trent Frederick been involved in like the past week and a half? I can't remember when his 2-goal game was. That was the last game I remember being like, oh, Frederick's finally turning it on. No, he wasn't. He duped me. It was a ruse. I was rused. I don't think that's how you use that word. It's a bummer. I want Trent Frederick to be a great Bruin. I so desperately do. You gotta park him. It's time. It's time. Not permanently. A mental reset would be amazing for this guy. Take him out of the lineup. You're willing to take most other players out of the lineup. Well, he's been doing worse than them for most of the season. Take him out of the lineup. Scratch him for a game. Give him a reset. Be like, dude, this is where your game's at. You being scratched. Reset. It's time to get you back to where you need to be, and you're not finding it on the ice. So find it from the 9th floor. I don't think that's like a crazy take. Well, they're trying to showcase him for a trade. You are damaging his value right now. Seriously. I know that scratching him doesn't do much more. His on-ice play, though, yeah, that does a lot. That does a lot. And if you really want to play that game, you scratch him and you tell other teams, yeah, we're doing it for health. Just to make sure that he's ready for the trade deadline because we're moving him. Like, that has to be on everyone's mind in that room, including Frederick's. I know the idea of being traded must be really hard for these players. I don't know what that feels like. I don't. But it has to be really taxing and difficult. You still have to play the game. You still have to do your job, man. And if there's one thing I can say about Trent Frederick right now is he is not doing his job. This has been bad. This has gotten really bad with him. And I really don't want it to be that way. But the eyes aren't lying. This guy has not been good. And in fact, I would argue that he's actively dragging his line mates down. Park him for a game or two. Let him rest. Let him reset. It's past time. Speaking of past time, the special teams is really bad, and we need a fix. I don't know if it's personnel. I think I do know it's personnel. But what if, because the offense is so bad, you just call some guys up who are scoring at the AHL level a lot? Come on. It's not a safer league. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But the power play has been so unholy bad that if we don't do something soon, I mean, the penalty kill is going through a bad stretch here, but I believe in the personnel and it being able to turn around. The power play, if they were even okay, if they were just not terrible, right? If they were 21st in the league, we might be leading the Atlantic right now. I mean, think about that. We're 3rd in the Atlantic right now, although Toronto just won again, so we're deeper 3rd in the Atlantic. But this team is 4 points out of 1st in the division, and their power play ranks dead last. Wait, are we dead last again? Hold on. We're going to find out together. Because we might not be dead last. We might still be 31st. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh, wouldn't that be so fun to not be dead last? 30th! Wow, some teams are on some real stinker stretches here. That's crazy. It's still 30th, though. Bad. But all that being said, all the negativity of the game notes and stuff, because I do have to talk about the things that are, like, bad for the team. I feel really good. I feel really good with where we're at. We got to win some games coming up. You don't want to start this stretch where you're losing 3 of 4, 4 of 5, things like that. So we do got to get back to the win column. But the team's playing a structured, identity-driven game. And I can feel okay with that, you know? There's just a lot of range for how this season could go. This feels like one of the better case scenarios at this moment. And when Hampus comes back, I just feel like we'll see a little boost there. Little boost. That feels about right. Go Bees. Go Bees! And now it's time to say thank you to the high quality inspectors. I appreciate each and every one of you. There's over 100 of you at this point. And I love doing these thank yous at the end, but I think we're reaching such a volume that I have to rethink this strategy because you're all so incredible and so supportive. But this is getting really long and there's got to be a better way, right? But let's start the thank yous, of course, with the top line tier. Dampen, Chris and Erica, Negev79, Trial Exotic, Jeff McGugan, Brad Yaati, Andrew Peterson, Sean Kreider, JM, Zenon Noel DeGuy, Donald Shelton, Anakin Palpatine, The Rat 63, Lola Cattingsworth, EKM Productions, Moonlighter TV, Big Bad Bruin, The Bugman, Adam Ella, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, Roland 22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Brett Arney, Pincent, and Nick Zatrullo. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. You're absolute legends of this channel, and you're very appreciated. And now, of course, to our all-star tier members. Lorenzo Wood, Jake Brower, Penny Pasta, Levi Catalani, Boston Stringler, Bagel, JG's 12, Mark S, Jacob Pratt, Nightmare Eco, John Kirk, Ann Hustis, Joel, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, Michael DePaulo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Bruin Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots 42, and Jeremy. Absolute stallions, every single one. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being a part of the channel. I cannot express my gratitude. Go Bees.